Hi guys, I saw Eric Kim's gochujang caramel cookies and I had to make my own version. I took my easy almond flour cookie dough, made a gochujang butter sugar mixture, swirled that in and baked it, and you get these chewy, delicious, lightly spicy, sweet, cinnamony, and perfectly amazing cookies. I know what you're thinking, gochujang in a cookie, that's a savory, spicy condiment, but believe me, when you pair it with butter, sugar, cinnamon, and swirl it in a cookie, it just transforms that flavor into this deep, caramelly, lightly spiced swirls that are absolutely heavenly. They're vegan and they're gluten-free if you use a gluten-free gochujang. If you can find a grain-free gochujang, then they're grain-free as well. They're also super flexible. My almond flour cookie dough is easy and super flexible, and I have dozens of cookies using this same cookie dough. You can adjust it based on your preference of how chewy and how thin you want the cookie, if you want the cookie to be fatter or if you want it to be more shortbread. It's really flexible and adjustable to your preference. Try more of my almond flour cookies like my tiramisu cookies, blueberry muffin cookies, strawberry cheesecake cookies, snickerdoodles, almond joys, Snickers cookies, lemon cookies, and of course the classic and the super popular ginger molasses cookies. If you try any of these cookies, do let me know in the comments how they turned out. This almond flour cookie dough is also really beginner friendly because you don't have to whip up the butter and sugar and get it the right consistency and all of that. You just add all of the ingredients to one bowl and mix it in. We use some coconut oil and sugar, and it really doesn't matter in which order you add the ingredients. Just mix it all up in a bowl to get a dough, chill a little bit, and that's it. Depending on your measuring errors or ingredients or moisture changes and stuff like that, sometimes the cookies might bake to be slightly fatter and sometimes they will spread and thin out. If they're too thin, that means the dough has a bit too much moisture than the almond flour can absorb. So you want to either increase the almond flour and tapioca starch or reduce your coconut oil and maple syrup. If the cookies bake up too fat and don't spread enough, that means the moisture is less and you want to add a little bit more maple syrup or a little bit more coconut oil. So play around with this cookie dough and make it your own. Do try these cookies or any of my other cookies and do let me know in the comments how you like them. To make these cookies, we're going to combine all the dry ingredients in a bowl. That's your almond flour, tapioca starch, salt, baking soda, and vanilla powder if you're using the dry version of vanilla, or you can add vanilla extract with the wet ingredients. Then mix all these dry ingredients by pressing and mixing really well so that there are no almond flour lumps remaining in the dry mixture. Then add in the wet ingredients. I usually make some space in the same bowl in the middle. Then add the wet ingredients there, mix the wet ingredients within themselves, and then fold that wet mixture into the dry mixture to make a dough. For the wet ingredients, we're gonna add the maple syrup, molasses, and coconut oil and mix in. If you did not add the powdered vanilla, then add the vanilla extract as well. You want to melt the coconut oil before using so that it can mix in really easily. Mix this wet mixture until the molasses is kind of combined with the rest of the ingredients. Then mix it in with the dry ingredients and make into a somewhat soft dough. You want the dough to be slightly sticky but not overly so. You don't want it too wet. You also don't want it dry and stiff. If it is too sticky, add in a tablespoon more almond flour. If it is too dry, then add in a teaspoon or so of maple syrup and mix it in. And then we're going to make our gochujang caramel mixture, which is gochujang, brown sugar, powdered sugar, some cinnamon, and vegan butter, and mix that in until it is a smooth paste. Now we're going to scoop about half to 1 teaspoon of that mixture and put it all over the cookie dough. We're just going to distribute it over the cookie dough and then lightly swirl it with a spatula. You don't want to mix it into the cookie dough too much, just a little bit of swirls and pretty much on the top of the cookie dough. Now put this bowl in the freezer for about 15 minutes to chill. In the meanwhile, preheat your oven, prep your parchment lined baking sheet and keep it ready. Remove the bowl from the freezer. Use a cookie scoop or a spoon. I used a 2 tablespoon cookie scoop. You can use 1.5 to 2.5 tablespoons worth depending on the size of the cookie you want, and scoop that onto the parchment lined baking sheet. Then using a spatula, press the cookie dough until it flattens a little bit. If you have any of the gochujang mixture still left, add a 4th teaspoon or so on the cookies and swirl it in the middle. And then bake these cookies for 11 to 12 minutes. Check at the 11-minute mark. If they're already starting to turn golden at the edges, then they're done. remove the baking sheet from the oven and cookie slam so that the cookies can settle down a little bit. They're extra moist because of that gochujang caramel butter which has just melted. So let them cool for about 15 minutes before you take them off of the sheet and serve them. They smell amazing and they are ridiculously delicious. To change up the flavors, you can add some gingerbread spice, pumpkin spice or cinnamon to the cookie dough as well, or add some garam masala. That's your Indian, Korean, American fusion cookie. These are super moist and so good. Look at that gorgeous texture. If you try any of these cookies, do let me know in the comments how they turned out. Don't forget to subscribe to my YouTube channel for more easy vegan recipes. Also, if you do try them, don't forget to review them on the blog. Thank you for watching and I'll see you next time.